Our aim is to show how materials research in design is getting closer to craft and how these two fields influence and complement each other. Politecnico di Milano is a prestigious university. It specializes in education of designers, architects, and engineers. It is important to highlight the multidisciplinary approach that is at the basis of the Polytechnic approach. And this multidisciplinary approach influenced a lot our approach in research in designing material for transition. My journey with materials started during my master's thesis in 1999, when I designed a material library here at Polyme. The idea was to emphasize the importance of the expressive sensorial dimension of the material in the creative process of design. The material library is considered as a very valuable source for the student to go there and get some information and get a direct contact with the material samples. Another interesting and important element is the sensorial interaction that the designer can have with the material samples, because we are aware that the fact that touching, seeing, and even smelling different material can provide inspiration, and a direct and tangible experience is essential and is important for the creative process. Observing new material experiences emerging in the design world, we have identified the do-it-yourself materials phenomenon as a very significant transformation in the field. Over the past decade, design blogs and social media have been filled with experiments using materials from conventional sources. We have called this trend do-it-yourself materials, which are materials created through individual or collective self-production experiences. In the do-it-yourself material approach, the designer begins with experimenting with materials using unconventional sources that can be waste, scrap, organic substances, and so on. The material are developed through a series of iterations in a process that we can define a trial and error process. And we call this process as tinkering with materials to emphasize its experimental character and the use of low-tech process and tools. In this regard, there are many similarities with the practice of traditional craft.
This is a product created by Create Design. Create Design is actually a startup, an Italian startup that is really based in creating circular economy and materials from waste to create design objects. They were really focused on generating products with bio-based materials, but typical from the industry already in the commerce. And they transform it in 3D printed objects. They started from two very common waste in Italy that are coffee grounds and orange peels. So the first part was trying to understand how bio-based materials could be combined with waste from the orange peels and make a material for design, for using in 3D printers. And at the end, we came with a really nice storytelling, and we produced actually this lamp that had been also promoted by Kickstarter. So the startup have a great new starting point, and selling their products, even if they're a very small startup, they start getting known in the world. So it's important to know also that how this mix of things can create some big project.
The DIY materials approach helps to stimulate aesthetic innovation and develop material languages and promote the process of innovation also through new languages. It helps to create a unique identity and create a storytelling around the material development. In conclusion, the do-it-yourself material movement combines a traditional craft spirit with modern technology and low-tech approach as well, and a renewed focus on the sensorial experience of interacting with material. This movement goes beyond simply making something with your hands, but it involves a dialogue with the materials, where the material itself is an active participant in the creative process.